The woman was simply taking a moment by the roadside, but in the next second, she was terrified to see a car barreling straight towards her. A man stepped out of the pickup truck, gazing in shock at the motionless woman on the ground. He was filled with disbelief. He had only lost control of his vehicle and skidded toward the roadside, never expecting to hit a woman without pants. At that moment, the woman's husband, who had just finished his business, came up and witnessed the shocking scene. He wanted to step forward and explain, but the other man already viewed him as a murderer.
Monsieur.
But as Wendon approached, he was left dumbfounded. A branch, as thick as a man's arm, had pierced the man's body. Seeing this, Wendon felt utterly speechless. He had just gone into town to buy some supplies, and unexpectedly became implicated in a murder. He scanned the surroundings and noticed it was eerily quiet, so he quickly drove away from the scene. Back home, Wendon appeared calm, even helping his wife with dinner. However, during the meal, his wife noticed the injuries on his face. She asked him what had happened, and reluctantly, Wendon shared the story of the accident. To his surprise, Wendy remained unusually composed. She asked Wendon why he hadn't contacted the police, but he explained the car wasn't insured, and if the police found out, they would surely end up spending a long time in prison.
T'as touché leur voiture?
Il s'est empalé contre un tronc d'arbre.
The two of them returned to the scene of the accident. Wendy noticed the woman still lying naked in the snow and helped her pull up her pants. At that moment, Wendon spotted a white handbag in the back seat of the car, which seemed quite valuable. Wendy, seeing it, thought that the woman must be wealthy. She walked to the back of the car and opened the trunk, and sure enough, there was a larger backpack inside, stuffed with cash. Wendy was instantly stunned in place. Once she regained her composure, a wild idea formed in her mind. Since the owner of the money was dead, the money was now ownerless. As long as they disposed of the body properly, no one would ever know it was them. However, just as Wendon tried to remove the man's body from the branch, he ran into trouble. He couldn't lift the man down at all. Seeing this, Wendy pulled out a chainsaw from the car. And soon, they managed to load the body into the pickup and leave the scene. Yet as the couple began counting the cash, Wendon discovered a handgun in the designer bag. At first, he thought it was just a toy. But Wendy was left speechless and terrified. She turned to see deep bullet holes in the wall and looked back at Wendon with fear in her eyes, seriously suspecting he might want to eliminate her.
J'ai pas fait exprès.
Just then, there was a sudden knock at the door. Wendy hurriedly stuffed all the money back into the bag and urged Wendon to hide it quickly. As she went to answer the door, when she opened it, she was shocked to find the town sheriff standing there, and fear washed over her. Fortunately, the sheriff wasn't there to arrest them. He had come to pick up the Christmas tree they had ordered in advance. Seeing the sheriff walk inside, Wendon quickly covered the bullet hole in the wall with his hand, but his actions raised the sheriff's suspicions.
Tu t'as souper, Michel? Non, je suis resté assis sur le tracteur toute la journée. Là, j'ai pas ce que j'ai.
Since the two had been longtime friends, the sheriff didn't doubt Wendon's explanation. At that moment, Wendy suggested showing the sheriff the freshly made Christmas tree. But as they stepped out of the room, Wendon suddenly realized the bodies in the car had their feet sticking out.